What's good, guys? Welcome back to the not the last minute, the full card predictions, early full card predictions, guys. Early bird gets the worm. Full card predictions for UFC Perth. I think it's gonna be a beautiful card, guys. And we did this with Paris, and I feel like I do a lot better when we study the card a week before, 2 weeks before, excuse me, and we break it down. You guys, let me know what you guys think. We break it down, then when it's the fight week, we do a little bit better. I don't have to really worry about, pick flipping. I don't think I'm going to pick flip in the future. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC Noche, but I do love these early updated early prediction videos for UFC Perth. We're going to go over really quick UFC Noche. We can't talk about next week or the next 2 weeks without talking about last week. I'll start off with the main event. Silva, I feel like Silva's very emotional. He's feeding off of, I don't know, I don't really like the idea of having your wife in the corner. Obviously, everybody's opinion is very different, but feeding off the energy of your wife, especially when you're about to go into one of the most animalistic sports in the game. I feel like Gene Silva was very emotional when he was getting ground and pound, when he was elbowed. What was he doing? He was looking up and he was sticking his tongue out, and I feel like he should have stayed a little bit more composed. In round 2, he was having a little bit more success with the takedown defense. Obviously, all the fighting nerds have lost already. I feel like John Silva has lost the worst way, taking the most amount of damage, and his ego is broken. He started pushing Diego Lopes after, but when he has success, he was cracking Lopes on the feet. Lopes is not one of the best strikers, but Lopes is durable and he's tough, and that's why he's in the featherweight division top 5. I feel like Gene Silva had it. I feel like there was maybe if you're on Lopes, you were comfortable with Lopes the entire fight, but I feel like the tide was changing and Gene Silva had it, but he's playing with his food, getting a little bit too confident and overexposed himself to that spinning elbow. Maybe he was going to lose either way. But I just feel like Gene Silva really is way too emotional. I don't like that thing that he does with his wife where he feeds off her energy. I don't really like that, obviously. Let's go to Fawn Martinez. Martinez is fast, cracks into the top 10 of bantamweight. He should crack into the top 10 of bantamweight. Guys, this is by far one of the worst cards I've done. I went 6-7. 6-7. Beautiful performance for Martinez. I had to live bet Martinez because I had fun, of course. And Gordon, of course, Garcia knocks out Gordon. Gordon gets into a car crash, doesn't want to pull out. Respect to you. Maybe he needed the money a lot more than I could imagine. But I don't think you should have took that fight. Maybe he was going to lose either way. Gas, some beautiful performance over Stolfus. But I will say the weight miss did help him. It did. You could see it when he was on top of him, getting out of the chokes, getting up. Hernandez knocks out Fierro. He was getting cut. Hernandez gets cut very easily, but it happens. Luna, beautiful performance, guys. I think of Axel, Solo, and Luna as the same. They're very young, come to the UFC, and they perform. And I love the way he knocked out Quang Lee. He did get dropped, but I love that, man. I wish I could have live bet, or I wish I just bet on Luna. I was too scared to. Medina versus Todorovic. Todorovic, beautiful submission. I believe it was a submission. That was crazy. I think Medina's done, guys. 2 first-round finishes back-to-back. Ataba and Todorovic. Puelis had that in the bag. He had the fight in the bag, and he gets dropped. I still think that if you're controlling 4 minutes and 59 seconds or 4 minutes and 50 seconds of the fight, 4 minutes and 55 seconds of the fight, and you get dropped, I still think that round should go to Claudio Puelis, but he did get dropped. Damage trumps all. He was on skates. I still feel like Puelis should have won that fight, but Puelis, I feel like he's gotten so much better. I feel like he beats Dan Hooker now. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's still washed. He still sucks. He's on a 3-fight losing skid now, I believe. But I think Puelis was the better fighter than Silva, but he just got caught. Suarez, beautiful performance. I love the Torres Finney method, guys. I love it. I should have went Suarez by decision. Aguilar, guys, these are the pick flips that I had. I had Aguilar and I had Silva, but I pick flipped to Puelis and Gurriel, and that was one of the worst decisions that I've ever made, guys. If you want to pick flip, make sure you really want to, because sometimes going with your gut, you feel a lot better even if you get the pick wrong. I would have felt a lot better if I had the pick wrong, even if I didn't pick flip. Reese, nut shot to Dumas, whatever. Costa, welcome to the UFC, Alden. Beautiful performance. I like how Alden was playing with his toe right before. When he was ground and pounding him, he was grabbing his toe. I think he knew something. I don't know. Piera has absolutely nothing. I feel like she could have edged it out, but of course she's on the back foot. Whatever. Donchenko, beautiful performance. We went 6-7, 6-7. Let's break down the card. Let's go into the bets. We go to the bets, guys. I had Alden live bet, and then I had Zachary Reese put a light 25, but Zach nutshot voided. Only made $6 there. Guys, I didn't really make that much. I had to chase with boxing. So Alexander Hernandez, 25, minus 102. I love it. Let's go. I will say Hernandez does get cut easily, but I can't wait for his next fight. I think these fast turnarounds, we're going to talk about it later in this video. The fast turnarounds help you a lot. David Martinez live bet, and then I had Gene Silva. Lost 25 on that. It is what it is. Happens. And then, of course, I had the over 11.5. Gene Silva over 2.5. I live bet David Martinez, but I had to cash out because I had Rob Font before. I think I live bet Rob Font like right in round 1, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And then I knew, 7:55, I was like, you know what, I got to cash out. Let me just go in heavy on Martinez. Martinez is winning. I was like, you know what, let me just cash out. I cashed out, and that cash out really does help. I know I still lost $20, but that cash out helps, and it saves lives. And then $50 on this, so we did end up losing there. Obviously, overall, it was like a sketchy night for Noche, so then I had to chase guys with boxing. I went absolutely insane with boxing. I went Terrence Crawford by points or decision. Obviously, it was around like the 8th round, but I needed to be positive. I wanted to be positive, guys. I didn't want to, break even. I don't really like breaking even. Terrence Crawford by decision at a minus 125. Got him at a minus 145, and we got him at a plus 110, but it was a little bit later. I wish I would have jumped on it a little bit sooner, but shout out to all the guys, man. Shout out to all the guys out there, guys. There's nothing wrong with chasing. Just know how to manage it and know how to pick your spots, because we don't have success on every UFC card, but there's always going to be another opportunity. So, Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. Beautiful fight. 15-fight card. Let's break it down. Enough gish galloping. Let's just get right to it. 15-fight card, guys. So, I am going to try to speed it up. Not try to take too much time. And let me know any constructive criticism you guys have. I'll always be glad to hear it. No odds, because we're just here to break it down, just like we did with the UFC Paris early predictions. Jonathan has made noise. Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliott. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't think this is going to be the card opener, but I think this is a beautiful fight, guys. So, let me fix this. There we go. We'll put it right there. There we go. A little bit more space. Makes it look a little bit more better. So, Jonathan has made some noise in the UFC already. Jonathan is 1-0 in the UFC, but we've already seen him on Dana White Contender Series as well. Jonathan is 8-1. 4-1 out of his last 5. His most recent loss is his only loss. He got TKO'd by Alden Batis. Jonathan is primarily a wrestler, good one too. He's on a 3-fight win streak, just won in a massive upset. He dropped Kevin, blasted body kicks, and won that fight. And I love his body kicks, although he does rely on it a lot. Matched up against the Welsh gangster, we know Oban has a massive hole in the grappling department, but like I usually say, he needed this loss in order to win this fight right here. He was taken down 6 times against Sung Young Ko, which wasn't too long ago. Oban is 12-3 overall, 4-1 out of his last 5. The hometown crowd plays a massive factor, guys. Mexico was undefeated. It took until Canelo to lose. UFC Noche was a great night for Mexicans. They didn't lose. They didn't lose at all. They didn't lose at all. And the crowd, on their side as well, plays a massive factor as well. You should have heard the crowd with Diego Canelo. Like, the crowd plays a massive factor in changing the tide as well. Even when Diego gets caught, each punch that Diego lands, the crowd goes crazy. I love that fight, but I feel like Silva could have won that fight. Oban needs to start working early, start engaging. Don't be afraid to engage because of the power or hesitate. Oban, you gotta work. Oban, you gotta pull it out the fire. Oban can enter his flow state when he starts having success in the chaos. This is gonna be a tricky fight, guys. Obviously, I know a lot of people are gonna go Jonathan Micallef. The majority of topologies very close. I'm gonna go Oban Elliott, guys. Give me Oban Elliott. We know Jonathan has that beautiful body kick. He has the wrestling department as well, and Oban had a hole in there, but I think he should be prepared this time around. Give me Oban Elliott for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Andre Petroski versus Cam Rowston. If you guys remember, Cam was on the Dana White Contender Series. Andre versus a Contender Series guy who fought 2 weeks ago. One of Andre Petroski's best wins that I really liked the way he performed most recently was that fight against Rodolfo Bellato. That fight he massively improved, and he showed levels in that fight. I love the way that he performed in that fight. He has deceptive power in his shot selection and his hands. He can control very well, land pepper shots as well. Andre is 13-4, 3-2 out of his last 5. Looking to get back in the win column since his most recent bout with Edmund Shabazian. Edmund dropped Andre, but I like how Andre stayed composed and he showed durability and he survived. Andre was able to get takedowns on Edmund as well, matched up against Cam Rowston. Cam just fought 3 weeks ago on August 19th, Dana White Contender Series Week 2. Cam Rowston lost to Torres Finney his first time out on Dana White Contender Series in 2024. Then he came back and won beautifully in round 1 with elbows and knees. Cam is only 30 years old, long, 6'4", variety in his arsenal. He can get tagged, eat one to give one. He can get wrestle-fucked at times though. Cam is the hometown guy. Perth will be on his side. 2-inch reach advantage for Cam. Andre is tough to wrestle as well. He can wrestle. He has a path to victory in that department. just as long as he doesn't shoot at Cam's hips and knock himself out like he's done before, I believe against Jacob Balcoon. Andre Petroski's the pick, but he needs to work early and implement his wrestling control. Guys, give me Andre Petroski. Let me know who you guys got, guys. These are the early predictions. If you guys got Cam, let me know in the comments why you got Cam. Obviously, we know that's going to be a very good fight. I don't expect this to be the first fight of the night. I expect it to be at least, early, but I don't expect it to be the first two. I think the bout order is going to change drastically. 15-fight card, guys. Louie Sutherland versus Justin Tafa. This is a good scrap. Like when you're at McDonald's and you see two big guys fighting for a place on the line up to order their food. I'm just messing around, but I feel like this is a great fight. Louie Sutherland has an interesting name. I like that name, Louie Sutherland. My cousin's name is Louie. We were best friends growing up all the time. We still are. Louie, he's just jumping right in there and swimming with the Sharks early. Louie is 10-3 overall. A lot of canceled bouts between his fights. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He beat Renato, by decision. Luis Carlos de Brito by KO. Dos Santos by decision. And he just beat Luke Newland by KO for the belt in his organization called Levels Fight League. Louie has 8 wins by KO, no losses or wins by sub, and 2 wins by decision. All 3 of his losses come by decision. He can manage range very well. Not the best wrestler, but he can work with brute force. Matched up against Justin Tafa. Tafa is the definition of durable. It's crazy that both of the Tafa brothers are fighting. Last time, Zach Reese and Dusko, sometimes there's a lot of people that fight each other. Navajo, Stirling, and Ivan Urslan are on this card as well. Sometimes there's a lot of people, are brothers that fight each other. And sometimes, it can influence or dictate the future, kind of like how BSD lost and then Kyle Barallo lost. I feel like this is going to be one of those nights where we'll see how the Tafa brothers do this night. Sometimes Tafa can get picked apart on the outside, but he's here to go to war. He has good leg kicks overall, decent takedown defense, and he can throw down in the pocket. He's fast. Tafa is 7-5 overall. Massive red flag because of his record. On a 2-fight losing skid, losing to Carl Williams and Taliesin Teixeira by KO, elbows and knees. The odds have Justin for the win as a slight favorite. Makes sense. He has more experience in the UFC. Although he's 4-5, that's 9 more fights than Louie in the big leagues. In the UFC, not just in general. In the UFC, 9 fights. Louie can wrestle. I think he can get the job done. Excuse me. I had to sneeze, but I don't have to sneeze no more. Louie can wrestle. I think he can get the job done. Give me Louie for the dub. Louie Sutherland for the W. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Give me Louie for the dub. Let's go. Louie by KO. Let's go. I like him by KO on points. I like his money line. Let's go. Now, shout out to Paku, guys. I want to give a big shout out to Paku. This is one of Paku's boys. He grew up with him. I believe he's training with him. He has trained with him. I believe he grew up training with him. And I've heard very good things. And from the tape study that I've done, guys, I cannot wait, guys. He was supposed to fight on Dana White Contender Series. Ever since Paku told me that he was his teammate, I cannot wait for this guy to show up. And I cannot wait. So shout out to you, Paku, for giving me that inside info. It makes me a little bit more excited for this fight. Brandon Peričić, and correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, versus Elisha Ellison. Paku's boy, let's go. I always wanted to be a Kiwi. This is a banger matchup. Brando Peričić is 4-1, 31 years old. He was supposed to fight on Dana White Contender Series. Brando has a documentary crew recording his journey in all of MMA, like his journey overall. Brando has trouble. I believe he had a troubled past growing up, and it's nice to see him turn it all around, get the ball rolling. I've been waiting for Brando to make his debut since it was announced that he was going to fight on Dana White Contender Series. Brando is jumping right into the UFC, skipping Ultimate Fighters and Dana White Contender Series. Brando has finished all 4 of his wins inside the distance. His only loss was a year ago by rear naked choke. He can get snatched up into a sub, but I'm sure he has polished his defense since then. He can mix in a takedown and is training out of City Kickboxing. Matched up against Elisha Ellison. Elisha is a retired cop, does private security now as a side hustle. Elisha is 5-1 overall, only 28 years old. His only pro loss is to Dave Pearson by submission side choke. He's aggressive, can get after you in the striking department or even the wrestling department. Elisha is working and competing. Respect to him. I like it, like guys like Malcolm Wellmaker, where they had like a side job, I believe, I forgot what he was, but a side job in like construction, and then he's a UFC fighter. Thomas Peterson, I believe he's a mechanic. Shout out to the guys that work 2 jobs. As seen with City Kickboxing, the takedown defense needs to be on point. We've seen City Kickboxing have good takedown defense, but he needs to polish it. I'm banking that Brando has been studying and polishing his game. The pick is going to be Brando. I was surprised to see Brando as an underdog. Brando's the pick. I think the odds are going to flip. Guys, give me Brando for the dub, guys. But majority top odds is going Ellison. It's going to be a banger fight, guys. Give me Brando. Let's go, my guy. Brando for the dub. Let's go. Jamie Mullarkey versus Ronaldo Bedoya. I think this is going to be a banger. Jamie Mullarkey has fought the who's who at 17-8. I'm glad I get to watch this guy fight live because he's always fun to watch in a scrap. We always have these fighters that whenever they fight, we know that it's going to be a good fight. He's not going to be boring. He's not going to bore me, win or lose. Mullarkey is 5-6 in the UFC, coming off a 2-fight losing skid, I believe. Losing to Nazareth by TKO, and Rafi TKO'd him with a flying knee. He is 2-3 out of his last 5. He averages more than 2 takedowns per fight. He can eat one to give one. 6 foot, 74-inch reach, always plotting forward, matched up against Ronaldo Bedoya. He's looking to create chaos, Bedoya, and find openings in the chaos. He's on a 3-fight losing skid to Chaos Williams, Kanan Song, and Jai Herbert. All losses by decision. If Ronaldo can't find the finish, he gets tagged over and over again. He's 5'11", decent takedown defense. He was getting picked apart by Herbert. Bedoya is tough. Excuse me, guys. But I just feel like he's in a tough spot as well. I feel like he might get cut eventually. Volume versus volume. Jamie Mullarkey is the pick. But that chin is made out of dust. Jamie Mullarkey can wrestle if you need him. If you need to. Jamie Mullarkey, wrestle if you need to, but keep your footwork on point and win this fight. Give me Jamie Mullarkey for the dub. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like Bedoya is on his way to getting cut from the UFC. Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. Luana Carolina is a true test for this. This is a very good fight. I love this fight. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, bro? This is one of my most anticipated fights on the card. I've been waiting for Michelle. A very high prospect versus someone who has proven herself to be UFC caliber as well. Luana has proven to be elite. She's a she's a striker looking to implement damage. She's a true technician. Luana Carolina is 11-4, 3-2 out of her last 5. And when I look, sorry guys, I'm getting notifications. She lost to Molly by spin elbow and Joanne Wood. But I think she beats both of those women now, considering how much better she has gotten. She's now on a 3-fight win streak, beating Ivana Petrovic, Julia Storolienko, and she most recently just beat Lucy Padalova. She was taken down twice by Lucy. She can make things work, finding elbows off the break, exchanging, and just throwing heat. Matched up against Michelle Montague, PFL crossover, 6-0. We've seen this before. She's long, uses her height and reach to her fullest advantage. She's a grappler, great wrestler, mixed with great BJJ. I even like her nickname, The Wild One, because it describes her so well to a T. Her aggressive style, her front-heavy grappling, closing the distance, maintaining top control. Luana's a tough test. She's no walk in the park. The more and more I zoom into this fight, the more research we do, the more competitive it becomes. I think Michelle has a path to victory in the aggressive wrestling style. Michelle Montague is going to be the pick. 29-28 decision, but you better watch out for those elbows, and you better watch out for that crucifix. Because if she gets you in that crucifix, she might finish the fight from there. Be careful with Luana. Luana's no walk in the park. Colby Thicknesse, guys. Every time this guy fights, it's always a meme. I can't wait to see the memes that come out. Versus Josias Musasa. Colby Thick, one of Alexander Volkanovski's training partners. Colby made his debut against Alexandre Taporia 6 months ago. He did good in that fight, especially considering he was fed to the wolves early. He can close distance, grapple, looks to land his 1-2, decent striking, but he eats one to give one. Colby has 4 finishes and 3 wins by decision. He still has time to grow, still time to improve each and every day. He can make things work if he finds openings. Matched up against Musasa. Was a pretty big favorite his last time out. He ended up losing to Carlos Vera by rear naked choke. He's only 26 though. He's a striker looking to implement damage. 6 KOs overall, 1 win by split. Always moves forward. He can land bombs even if he's on top position. He headhunts heavily though. Decent footwork. He lost to Carlos Vera. Struggled that fight badly. But guys, I think you know what I say. He needed that fight in order to win this fight. Majority Tapology is going with Colby. Musasa should be the better fighter on the feet. Colby can wrestle, and he did well fighting better level competition his last time out. He survived against one of Taporia's older brothers, and Josiah Musasa got submitted by a BJJ guy. The pick is going to be Musasa, but we still have time to let it marinate. Give me Musasa for the W. I think he should be the better striker here, and I think if he can keep it on the feet, he should be able to show what he wanted to show in that Carlos Vera fight. That was his debut. We saw Carlos Ulberg. He lost his debut as well. Went on to win. He has one of the longest win streaks at light heavyweight now. Give me Musasa for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Now, this is a bang. Navajo Stirling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Navajo is one of my favorite fighters to watch. Navajo is a former pro kickboxer. He's light on his toes, floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. I like Navajo. I'm a little bit biased. He's not high volume, can be a bit timid, but because he's a true technician. Decent takedown defense, and he can stay composed very well. His last time out, he showed that he can wrestle offensively as well. I love City Kickboxing. I think they have a great team around them, and it just elevates everyone level in that room, in the gym. I feel like the team that they have around them levels up everyone around them. Iron sharpens iron. Navajo has been facing more and more adversity, little by little, each and every fight. And it shows us he's still getting better, and he's only 27 years old. Matchup against Bellato. Bellato is 12-2-1. Heavy hands, looks to march forward and create damage. Bellato's only 2 losses are to the same guy, Vitor Petrino. Bellato does struggle with that left hook. He's a grappler who can have great control, set up his strikes. He fought Paul Craig, but he took a dive in that fight, in my honest opinion. Bellato is the best fighter Navajo has fought to this day. To this date, Bellato has been in there with the who's who because of his decision wins and him struggling his last couple of bouts. A lot of people are going to doubt Navajo, but he has great takedowns. He can mix it up. He has great takedown defense. And I believe there was this fight with Tuco Tokos. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I believe the grappling was getting to him. And it was in that 3rd round where he showed levels and he actually cemented the victory. I believe in that 3rd round after it was a very, very close fight. Very close fight. He has great takedowns and can mix it up here. The pick is going to be Navajo Stirling. I think he should show levels. I'm a Kiwi. Let's fucking go, Navajo. Put him out. Let's go. Put him out. Put him out. Bring him out. Bring him out. I know there's a difference between Kiwi and like Aussie, but hey, we're in Perth, man. I'm always going to show love to Perth. I love Perth. Bro, one of my favorite fighters, Volkanovski's from Perth. And I love, bro, remember when Islam and Volk fought for the first time? In Islam, he used an IV for the 24-hour less dehydration clause. No, not dehydration, but he used an IV because there was less than 24 hours to recover. I think he used an IV. There was a bunch of like stuff like that, but Volk did very good that first time out. Luma Lukbomi versus Alexia Daranara. This is a good scrap. Luma Lukbomi is tiny, but she is a machine. This is why the UFC should create a 115-pound weight division for the smaller ladies. An atom weight division. I think she would fit perfectly there. She is 10-3 overall. Luma is from Thailand, the art of Muay Thai. She's 10-3 overall, only 29 years old. Luma's only 3 losses are she got submitted once, armbar, lost by decision to Angela Hill, and most recently she lost the decision Lupita Godinez. She made her UFC debut in 2019 on the UFC ESPN 20 Maya vs. Arskin card. Loma's a great striker, great volume. Loma is a Muay Thai striker, beautiful striking and wrestling entries. She's on a 4-fight win streak now, finding her groove at this time in her career. She beat Denise Gomes, Elise Reed, Bruna Brazil, and most recently Estela Nunes. She beat Sam Hughes as well prior to this as well, which I rate that Sam Hughes win very highly. She does better when she's wrestling rather than when she's getting wrestled. Matched up against a true warrior, Alexia Daranara. Alexia sent Molly McCann into retirement. From what I've seen on Insta, Alexia has hung out with Amanda Ribas and she's at a lot of, she hangs out with a lot of Brazilians and she loves to party. Alexia is light on her toes, front forward striker. At 12-1, she is only 27 years old. Her only loss is to Bruna Brazil by rear naked choke. And I like Bruna Brazil because she's fought so many ladies. She just beat Ming Shi, Bruna Brazil. And it helps you get a better idea of how good her opponents really are. Losing to Bruna Brazil is not a bad loss at all. Especially if it was by sub. Alright, that happens. She's on a 10-fight win streak, looking to create damage. She can wrestle and find submissions as well. She just made waves when she finished Molly McCann in her UFC debut, and she started twerking. Luma is small, fast, and a striker who can mix it up as well. This is an excellent fight. I actually love the women's fight on this card. The pick is going to be Alexia Daranara to muscle her way to victory. She has 7 wins by submission, beautiful rear naked choke, and she has a squeeze like an anaconda. Alexia by sub or points. Let's go Alexia Daranara for the dub. Let's go, my girl. Let's go. Let's go. My bad, guys. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. Guys, it's going to get October. It's already going to be spooky Halloween, and allergy season is coming for me. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. Opening up the main card. Let's fucking go. 6-fight main card, baby. This is one of my favorite fights on the card. Tom Nolan, 9-1 overall, 25 years old, 6'3", 73-inch reach, 5 wins by KO, 4 wins by decision. His only loss is to Nicholas Mota, who KO'd him almost 2 years ago. But we got that back with Nazim Sadikov. We got that back in blood for my boy Tom Nolan. His chin can take a punch. He always pressures forward, always gets in your face, eats one to give one. He's not as defensively sound as I'd like him to be. He's on a 3-fight win streak, though, beating Victor Martinez, Alex Reyes, and he just beat Slava Claus. Matched up against Charlie Campbell. Comes from New York, 30 years old. Also on a 3-fight win streak, beating Josh by KO, Alex Reyes by KO, left hook straight right. I love that KO. And Trevor Peek by decision. Charlie has been cracked on Dana White Contender Series. Chris Duncan put his lights out. But guys, Chris Duncan just whooped Mateusz Rebecki. Chris Duncan is good. Charlie has great leg kicks. Once on top, he has good pepper shots. This is an excellent fight, a striker's delight. The pick is going to be, but I will say there is going to be mixing of wrestling. I can see some wrestling exchanges here. The pick is going to be Tom Nolan. I believe Tom Nolan shot on Slava Claus in the 3rd round, and he secured it. But Charlie can start chewing up Tom Nolan's leg. If he just starts wailing on that leg, and Tom Nolan can't close the distance, those leg kicks are going to add up. We saw it with Diego Lopez, Gene Silva. Diego Lopez was whacking Gene Silva's leg, and it forces him to retaliate back. Tom Nolan for the dub. Let's go Tom Nolan by decision. I like Tom Nolan. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Tom Nolan, let's go. Bro, Tom Nolan is one of my favorite fighters, bro. I was actually upset when he got finished by Charlie Campbell. It was like Bo Nickel, when Bo Nickel lost to RDR. Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. Jake Matthews is going to make this crowd erupt. Perth loves Jake Matthews, and Jake Matthews loves Perth. Jake Matthews grew up with the UFC. At 22-7, the Celtic kid looks to extend his win streak to 4. He is 15-7 in the UFC. He made his debut in 2014, 11 years ago. Guys, it shows the longevity of Jake Matthews and how much time has passed since both of these guys. Neil Magny made his debut in 2013. It's amazing, guys. He's on a 3-fight win streak at the pinnacle of his career, beating Phil Rowe, Francisco Prado, and Chidi Nchikawani, which by far was one of his best performances I've seen from Jake Matthews. That Chidi Nchikawani fight showed me that Jake Matthews still has time to improve. He's going to need a grapple. He's going to need that grappling here. I just like him. I would like him to use his grappling instead of just trying to duke it out. The way he shot, took the back, and he subbed Chidi was amazing. He attacks the body, mixes it up. He has decent leg kicks, positive striking differential. Matched up against Neil Magny. Magny is a stepping stone, a true gatekeeper. Magny made his debut in 2013. It's funny how long they have both been in the UFC and have never fought each other, up until now. Magny is 23-12 in the UFC, 35 fights already. Gosh damn. And he just beat the crap out of Zaleski. Magny is 38 years old, but always shows up, and he gets the same finish over and over again. He just takes your back, flattens you out, and he just wails on you. Finished Mike Milan and Zaleski in the same way. But Jake Matthews is the real deal, and he isn't a fraud like Neil Magny. He isn't a fraud like Milan and Zaleski. I feel like Milan and Zaleski, they fold under the smallest bit of adversity. Oh, they're getting hammered by Neil Magny, hammer strikes. Bro, I feel like I could serve. Bro, let Neil Magny. I'm probably gonna get hate for that. Let Neil Magny take my back and let him start hammering down. I feel like I can get out of that position. Let him get a body lock triangle too. No, I'm just kidding, but I feel like I can survive longer than Zaleski and Mike Malott did in that position. And I think Jake Matthews can as well. That's what's most important. Jake Matthews is the pick. I like his money line. He's a big favorite, but it's parlayable. Jake by sub or points, maybe by KO on points if you want more value. I like that double chance, but on points, just in case he wins by decision. And he can't finish the tough veteran like Neil Magny. If Neil Magny takes Jake Matthews back, I'm done. I'm done. I don't think he should, though. I don't think he will. I better knock on wood. I don't think he will. Knocked on wood. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares is a banger scrap, guys. Jack Jenkins is 13-4 overall. 3-2 out of his last 5. Make sure you guys are staying hydrated, guys. With His two most recent losses being to Chepe Mariscal and Gabriel Santos. Jenkins is 3-2 overall in the UFC, 6 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub, and 4 wins by decision. He has deceptive power, always pressures forward, looks to implement damage. He can wrestle as well, 9 takedowns in the UFC. His takedown defense needs to be polished, matched up against Ramon Tavares. Tavares is the guy who looks to keep the fight on the feet. Great takedown defense, athleticism and speed is on his side. Great footwork, good straight left, beautiful jab. He had absolutely nothing on the feet for Davy Graham. Davy is a true vet. I feel like Tavares needs to find his groove. He needs his confidence back. Once Ramon can enter his flow state, he starts going. But he has issues getting picked apart, looking for a finish. He was kind of looking for that big shot against Davy Grant, and I hated that. Jack Jenkins has beautiful leg kicks. He has been hyped for his leg kicks since the moment I found out about him. I remember finding out about the UFC, and I think it was 2020, 2019, and everybody talking about Jack Jenkins' his leg kicks. Oh, this guy Jack Jenkins. Oh, his leg kicks. I don't know, maybe it was 2021 then. I just remember a lot of hype on Jack Jenkins. I remember a lot of hype for his leg kicks. Jack Jenkins has beautiful leg kicks. He has been hyped up for his leg kicks since the moment I found out about him. Take that with a grain of salt. If Tavares can keep his footwork on point, he can have success and survive. I love Tavares, man. I like Tavares, man. I wish he could win this fight. Jack Jenkins is going to be the pick, though. He can set up his strikes with low kicks. Jack Jenkins is the pick. 29-28. Decision. Let's go, my guy Jack Jenkins for the dub. Let's go. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Uselyis. Oh my... I wrote OMFGG. Another Jimmy Crute fight on the fucking main card for the love of the game. Come on. 1-800-GAMBLER fight. I hate gambling. I mean... so this is what I wrote. I wrote, I hate gambling and when Jimmy's on the book. I hate gambling with Jimmy Crute. When he's on the same card, bro, I feel like... Bro, it's always a nail-biter every time, bro. I'm not gonna... Guys, I think I might skip this fight. I don't think I'm going to touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. I always say that, but I'm going to put Jimmy Crute in a parlay, guys. I already know it. He needs way... Okay, Jimmy Crute averages more than 4 takedowns per fight. Can't maintain top control if his life depended on it. He needs way more better control. We have seen him do it better. I mean, we've seen him do it before with control and have success controlling. He needs to get better with his control because sometimes he can't have top control. He can't maintain his control on top if his life depended on it. He's coming off of a submission win over Marcin Prachnio. Very nice armbar sub 1 month ago. Quick turnaround. We saw Alex Hernandez make a quick turnaround as well. And I love that, guys. We were talking about it early in the video. The quick turnaround is very important, guys. Alex Hernandez made a quick turnaround. I think the quick turnaround can benefit the fighters a lot. Obviously, just as long as you're not doing too much of a quick turnaround back to back. You need a break as well. Matched up against Ivan Uselyis. Ivan has heavy hands, heavy power in his hands, blitz into his shots, decent footwork, marches forward, and looks to KO you. The longer this fight goes, the more it favors Uselyis's opponents. Navajo was able to take down Uselyis. Uselyis is 0-2 in the UFC, lost to Cutelaba in Navajo. Only 33 years old versus 29-year-old. Jimmy Crute has only 1 win in the last 5 years. Jimmy Crute is sketchy. Always sketchy to pick sometimes. He gets dropped, cracked, but it does wake him up. If the crowd, and he does, bro, he lost to Anthony Smith by leg kicks, bro. By leg kicks. I don't know who loses to Anthony Smith. But that was 2021 Anthony Smith, but still. Crute can make questionable decisions, but I think he should be able to wrestle Ivan to victory. Ivan got taken down by a city kickboxer. He has subs as well. He showed his last time out. Give me Crute for the dub. Just give me money line. I'm going to put him on a parlay. Let's go, Crute. Let's go. I don't know why Jimmy Crute reminds me of the Flintstones. Like the Flintstones, like with the rocks and all that. Like the show with the cavemen. Junior Tafa versus Ivo Aslan. Co-main event of the evening. The younger brother of Justin Tafa, 29 years old, 6-4, 2-4 in the UFC. Not 1 win by sub, not 1 win by decision. All 6 of his wins come by finish. Skinnier than his bro. Dropped down to light heavyweight. Decent striking, but terrible takedown defense. He just lost his most recent bout to Tuco Tokos by arm triangle. And I remember that fight, man. I was on Justin. I don't even know why, but I was on Junior Tafa, And we're like, bro, you gotta defend the takedown. Taken down again. Oh, he landed on him. Oh, he's taken down again by Tuco Tocos. And it's those types of fights that make me not want to pick you in the future. He just couldn't get going that fight. He couldn't defend a takedown if his life depended on it. Heavy hands, heavy low kicks, and that's pretty much it. All of his wins come by KO, 100% finish rate, and man oh man, matched up against Aybol Aslan. Aslan is straight ass. Straight ass. Like, you know the liquid ass spray? I used to take that to high school and I used to spray it and mess around in the hallways. That's Aybol Aslan. Liquid ass. He is 29 years old, 77.5-inch reach, 14-3, 2-2 in the UFC. He beat Anton and Rafael Sequiera, then lost to Cutelaba and Billy Alacana. He can wrestle at times, but rarely. He has power, tends to gas as the fight goes on. He wasn't throwing, he wasn't landing, and was convinced that he won his last fight against Billy, and he was genuinely surprised when he lost at 30-27. Aybol Aslan is so ass, can't find his shot at times, can't get going, no urgency, and he can't find a finish, then he might be fucked. Aybol has a 100% finish rate, no wins by sub or decision, which is a massive red flag. KO or bust. Maybe we take that this fight doesn't go the distance. This fight might get ugly quick if they just go at each other. The pick is going to be Aybol Aslan. I hate picking this guy. I wish he can get cut from the UFC eventually. But let's go with Aybol Aslan by KO on points. He should wrestle for a round at least to secure a victory. Come on, bro. You got to implement some wrestling, bro. Come on. Give me Aybol Aslan for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Carlos Ulberg versus Dom Reyes. I see this is a number one contender fight at light heavyweight. I see this as a number one contender fight at light heavyweight. Number 3 ranked light heavyweight is set to face off against number 7 ranked two-time former title challenger Dom Reyes. I don't know if you want to count it two-time, but I count the John Jones and the Jan Blachowicz for, I believe it was two-time title challenger. I just don't remember if it was I believe John Jones vacated the belt. Or maybe... Yeah, I believe it was for a vacated belt. Yeah, excuse me, guys. My bad. Carlos has the longest active win streak at light heavyweight besides the champ. Carlos the Black Jaguar Ulberg comes from City Kickboxing. I love his footwork. One of my favorite things about some fighters are their footwork. We saw David Martinez have excellent footwork against Rob Font. Footwork is very important. At 12-1, Ulberg's only pro loss is to Kennedy Jekachu. A fight where he was caught off of an exchange. A fight where he was winning. Ulberg is 34 years old. Former kickboxer. 7 wins by KO. 4 wins by decision. He's coming off of one of his best wins yet over Jan Blachowicz. Many say that he lost that fight against Jan Blachowicz, but I gave Ulberg rounds 1 and 3. Jan just makes fights way more competitive than it needs to be. That's how Jan Blachowicz is, guys. And to the human eye, it could just look like a toss-up. Positive striking differential, 7-4 for Carlos Ulberg. Great management of distance. He was beating Kennedy until he got caught, but he did get reckless. He had his hands low. Many call it running, but you can't just exchange with Jan. Uselyis does this as well. His footwork is always on point. We saw this with Steve Garcia against Calvin Kattar. Steve Garcia couldn't find the finish against Calvin, and he was dancing around the cage. His footwork is on point. Uselyis dancing around the cage against Calvin Kattar. It's funny how both of them have phenomenal footwork against Calvin, and Calvin couldn't cut off the cage. Matched up against Dom Reyes. I love fighters with footwork. I think footwork is one of the most important things if you're a striker, if in general in the MMA game. Matched up against Dom Reyes. Went toe-to-toe with John Jones. Many will mention this, but forget about that fight. You got to stop smelling the roses. It's a whole new era now. It's 2025. How he should have gotten his hand raised that fight. That fight got to his head, and he ended up losing his next 3 fights after that. After losing to John Jones. He lost to Jan by KO, but those body kicks sealed the deal. I would like Carlos Ulberg to implement some body kicks because we know that he can be susceptible to and open to body kicks. Jan had his entire body red from those body kicks, bruised. Ryan Spann knocked him out with a power jab. He KO'd him with a spinning elbow, and Jan KO'd him. Dom Reyes has gotten his confidence back and is now in the pinnacle of his career, looking to get a title shot if he wins this fight right here. He has great straight left and gives so many fighters issues. He won his last 3 fights all by KO. KO'd Dustin Jacoby, KO'd Anthony Smith, KO'd Krylov. Dom Reyes is a southpaw. He is on his resurgence. Beautiful footwork as well for Dom Reyes, but he can get tagged and susceptible to be getting just knocked out. Considering he's gotten cracked 3 times in a row, and his lights have went out. Carlos running backwards and point fighting doesn't always look good for the judges, but we are in Perth, guys. With Jan versus Ulberg, I thought that I think, guys, we saw Jan fight Ulberg, right? And we saw Dom Reyes fight Jan. Jan Blachowicz fought Ulberg and Dom Reyes. And 2 completely different fights, but styles make fights. And that was a younger prime version of Jan Blachowicz that Dom Reyes had to face. If Dom Reyes can start working, that left straight is like a piston. You can just point fight. You can't just point fight against Reyes. He will get in your face and hunt you down and look for that straight left like a piston. If you run backwards all fight, it could leave you to getting caught. Ulberg, you're going to have to actually fight. Like, you're not going to be able to dance your way around the octagon. Maybe early, but Reyes is going to get in your face and he's going to jump into the fire. He carries that power all 25. Dominic Reyes has power, guys. Ulberg, I think Reyes hits way more harder than Ulberg. Ulberg is not a finisher, and I can see him winning, banking rounds up until the 5th round and then maybe getting caught later. I would hope not. Maybe he gets a little wobbled and has to wrestle. I remember when Dom Reyes fought Yuri Prohaska, and he hit him with an up kick, and Yuri said that he was flash knocked out for a little and he had to wrestle. Don't be afraid to wrestle, Carlos. Don't be afraid to wrestle. Ulberg should put on a masterclass. Ulberg by Kieran points. Ulberg to perform the way Imavov did. Set the pace, show levels. 9-4 in the UFC for Reyes. 8-1 for Ulberg. The pick is going to be the Black Jaguar. Ulberg by Kieran points. Ulberg by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even a split. Last time out, Ulberg won a split, guys. He does make fights very competitive. Oh, it was a unanimous. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if this is a split, though. I feel like that Jan Blachowicz should have been a split, but obviously it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this card, guys. Let me know what you guys think, guys. 15-fight card. I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Early full card predictions, guys. Drop a like. Share it with your friends, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions, let me know. Peace. Hey, peace.